Yo, shalom, shalom. Good afternoon. Happy preparation day. Grace and peace to the 12 tribes of Israel. Today we are going into Psalm chapter 36. It's gonna let Isaac come and kick with y'all prep day. Hey, you gonna say shalom to everybody? Like, hey, what's up? Got my fringes on. Hey, say I'm doing the same thing. We gotta keep these laws, statutes, commandments. Hey, and train up a child the way he should go. Hey, guess what he should go? He's gonna hopefully learn to not only understand this word, but bring this word to the people. Because again, we got to prophesy to all these nations and they need to learn who we are. But like I said, we're going into Psalm chapter 36. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the lesson. Like I said, right now, shout out to Isaac. I see you here. I see you. Elijah, how you doing? Good afternoon. Like I said, happy prep day to you. What's going on, Sarah? Grace and peace be with you. Shalom, shalom. Katrina, I see you in the building. What's going on? Shalom. And and like Elijah said, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And also make sure you do not pull my chain off. Don't break it. Lawa, how you doing? Grace and peace be with you. Shalom. And like I said, happy preparation day to everybody. Like I said, make sure y'all got y'all's notes out. Make sure y'all ready to, understand and get more you can on this book, because we understand that the book of Psalms has a lot of people confused, especially the Christianity minds. They read the book of Psalms or they see the book of Psalms and they just think it's all sunshine and rainbows, but it's a lot of death and destruction in there, and a lot of God saying, I only care about my people. So being that we got that, we're going to dive into the lesson. So let's go to Matthew chapter 26, verse 6, and we will get started. Matthew chapter 26, verse 6. Now, when Jesus was in Bethany, in the house of Simon the leper, there came into him a woman having an alabaster box of very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Jesus understood it, he said unto them, why trouble you the woman? For she hath wrought a good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me ye have not always. For in that she poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel should be preached in the whole world, there shall also this woman have done be told for a memorial of her. So whenever we bring out the truth of Jesus Christ's gospel, the truth that is spoken to the 12 tribes scattered all over the globe, the word that is given to us, that's telling us to keep the law, statutes, commandments to the day we die. The word is given only to, like I said, those people who are in captivity, those that went in slavery, those people we understand are black, the colonized, the oppressed to this day. Whenever we bring that gospel to those people, we always going to remember the woman that put the ointment on the body of our Messiah, Jesus the Christ. All right, let's go ahead and dive on into the lesson. Let's go to Psalm chapter 36. I hear you. All right, here you got get any last words? All right, there you got your last words in. All right, go on. Get out of here. So, all right, let's go. Psalm chapter 36, verse 1. The transgression of the wicked saith within his heart. Let's say it again. The transgression of the wicked saith within my heart, that there is no fear of God before his eyes. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. So what he's saying, he says, the transgression of the wicked saith in my heart. So it's saying in their own minds, when they are in the midst of their sin, they are not worried about anything God's going to do, because they don't really believe God exists. They don't believe there's a God that's going to punish them for transgressing against him, for going against him, for being outright rebellious to him. People have this thought in their mind. So that's why it says, this says the transgression of the wicked says there is no fear before their eyes. They ain't afraid. Why would they be afraid? Because they don't think there's no judgment coming. When it's the same way when people say, they talk about how women treat men these days. Women treat men without any fear, without any type of hesitation. They will cuss out a man. They will, they'll be 150 pounds smaller than a man, have way less strength, and they will talk to him like he is their child. Why do they do that? Because there is no fear before their eyes. There's no threat of violence in their minds. They don't think anything can happen to them. So that's why it says the transgression of the wicked, there's no fear before their eyes. When you have no fear, then we go on let me read on verse 2. For he flattereth himself in his own eyes, until his iniquity be found to be hateful. Until it gets to a point where it's just like, man, I can't take you no more. You are driving me crazy. You have this contrary spirit to me, where you are just contending with me at every corner. You always ready to fight me. Why are you ready to fight me? Because you ain't afraid of me. Because in truth, we should look at, just like I know women should look at God, at women. I said women should look at women. Women should see men as lords or God's representation of God on earth, men should understand God's power and accept his power and cower before him, because there's got to be a fear before him. But when there is no fear, guess what? They will continue to get more and more evil. And that's why it says your iniquity will be found hateful. You will become despicable. You'll become unbearable. You'll be intolerable to those people around you. Why? Because you ain't afraid of God. You don't think nobody can do nothing to you, so you will get worse and worse. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Make sure you understand the scriptures are true. Let's go to 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse, I'm in the wrong side. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 11, I think is what I want. No, 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 13. All right. But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. See, you said when you're evil, when you're wicked, you're going to get worse and worse. Why? Because you don't have any fear of God. And if you go down to it, you go to verse 1, it says, in the last days, perilous times shall come. In the last days, which means after the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ. And after the death, burial, and resurrection of Christ, that's when the last days began. Well, one set of last days. There were different last days. But in those last days, when those days began, that was when there was mercy and grace and patience, meaning there was no more death penalty. With no more death penalty, evil people get worse and worse because they have nothing to fear. And that's what happens. When you have no fear, you have nothing to be afraid of, then guess what? There's nothing to alter your behaviors. There's a threat. When there's a threat of violence, a threat of fear, then you will control yourself. You will be governed by something. When I was growing up, guess what I was governed by? My daddy. I was like, all right, if I do X, Y, and Z, if I act like this, my daddy gonna whoop my ass. So guess what I had to do? I had to govern my behaviors. I had to make sure I did not go to school and act a fool and misrepresent him, because every time I did misrepresent him, I had a switch waiting on me. So we understand there's got to be fear. And that's the same thing with God. If you do not have any fear before God, guess what you're going to do? You're going to flatter yourself, meaning you're going to have elevated sense of self. You're going to be puffed up. You're going to be prideful. You're going to think that everything you do is good. You're going to believe, and you're going to have a false sense of self, false sense of who you are. And what a father's going to give you, he's going to show you who you are. He's going to humble you and put you in the place you're supposed to be. See, men bring humility. Women don't have that. Why? Because you don't need to be humble. You can just be like, the sky's the limit. Hey, woman will tell you, if you believe you're a frog, you are a frog. Ribbit, ribbit. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens. Women will allow you to believe whatever. Men will be like, nah, You know what I'm saying? That's why you think you have women saying the body positivity, love your curves. Nah, lose some weight. That's actually what that is. It shouldn't be that love your curves. No, lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he was just bad. He was a bad man. No. You was a hoe. You didn't know how to control yourself. You kept on sleeping around from dude to dude. And guess what happened? When you continue to do that, now you destroyed your own relationship. So we got to understand there are levels, there's correction, there is some type of understanding of putting things in perspective, of putting things in place. And when I say you was a hoe, guess what I'm saying? You was like the whore. The Bible talks about whores. It says there should be no whores. And guess what? God sets that standard. So I want to make sure people understand that. Let's go on back. Psalm chapter 36, verse 3. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He have left off to be wise and to do good. When it says someone left off to be wise, it means they stopped doing the things that God said. They stopped following the commandments. They didn't follow the righteous path. They was like, I don't need to be wise. I don't need to do good. I'll do what I want. Because to do wise, you got to do things that you don't like. Verse 4. He deviseth mischief upon his bed. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. When it says he devised mischief, what is he doing? He's plotting to do things to people or plotting to do things for himself that could harm others. You know what I'm saying? And then he says he sets himself in a way that is not good. When you set yourself in a way, it means you are pointing yourself in a direction. Just like if you are, say you are going to shoot archery, you're doing archery and you're going to shoot arrows. You have to set themselves in a way that is aimed at the bullseye. You have to aim them. You have to properly direct them. So you point it in the right direction and then you're going to shoot it. That's why they tell you to be steady. Hold your, basically take in deep breaths, be steady. You have to do all these things to make sure you get good aim. So when you set yourself in a way that is not good, it means you're aiming for something that is evil. You are actually purposely trying to do something that is contrary to what God says. And then he says, he abhorreth not evil, means you do not hate wickedness. You do not despise Profanity. Profanity, I'm talking about anything that's profane, which is unholy. Something that's unholy, you should hate it. Everything that is against God's laws, we should hate. If we don't hate those things, that's because we are okay with them. And if you're okay with something, you love it. It's the same thing. Let's read on verse 5. The mercy, O Lord. I'm sorry. Psalm 36 and 5. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. When it's in his mercies in the heavens, it was telling you is his patience, his understanding, his compassion for us. It goes beyond, way beyond our understanding. He knows things. And that, like, what people don't understand about mercy, and they think, well, how come God don't just do this? Or how come God's gonna bring such harsh punishment? What kind of God does that? Now, his mercies in the heavens. First of all, you need to understand he could have done way more. He had the power to do so much more to us, and he didn't. He was patient with us. He gave us the opportunity. You know why he gives us the opportunity? His mercy is there because his compassion is there. His compassion there, meaning his understanding. He understands who we are. So we don't need to be like, God just don't understand what I'm going through. God just doesn't understand. I need to steal this. God doesn't understand. I need to sleep with this person. God don't understand. I need to harm this person. God don't. Yes, he does. God knows exactly what's going on. He understands. He watched you your whole life. How you gonna say God don't understand when he's watched you literally from conception? He's seen you as a little bitty sperm swimming around inside the woman. And then after he's seen you swimming around inside the woman as that little bitty sperm, guess what else he did? Then he watched you continue to grow. And then he watched you be birthed. He watched you come into the world, come through the matrix, watch you, wah. So he's seen you since that baby form. He watched everything. He watched you get dropped as a baby. He might have watched you crying for 10 minutes because you want your diaper changed. He's seen you, you know what I'm saying, walking and trying to climb up on the couch because you wanted a cookie. He knew exactly what you was thinking about. He knew what you wanted. He knows your life path. He knows the things that affected you and affected how you think. God understands all of this. So when people think God doesn't understand and he doesn't have mercy, you're crazy, because God actually has so much compassion because he knows exactly who you are. He knows your plight. He knows the things that you desire. He has understanding. He has compassion. He has mercy. That mercy comes from knowing you. He understands you through and through. So if he understands you through and through, guess what else he understands? Why you would fall away, why you would make mistakes. So it means he's going to give you, he's like, all right, I know what goes on with them. I know their trauma. I know their emotional damage that they've been through. So since I understand all of that, that's why they are prone to doing this sin right here. If you understand what I'm saying, please put a 1 in the chat. I'll make sure y'all follow me, because I don't want people just sitting here in the lesson, not following, not understanding. It's too much that I'm bringing out where people should be like, oh, I don't get it. Or they ask a question. It's like, well, if you were watching the class, you'd have knew that. So you should be having a mindset should be formed from watching the lessons. That's the great thing about it. If you're one of those people that's coming on and learning and getting that understanding, and you what I'm giving you is the mind of God. So it ain't just that I'm giving you the mind of me, I'm giving you the mind of God, because I'm placing the mind of God in me when I read and I try to understand when I watch lessons. You got to understand who he is and what type of person he is and what type of person we should be. And by the way, I see you in the lesson, Christina. Grace and peace be with you. Yeah, say, oh, never mind. You must change that. I remember you used to say Israel. Okay. Psalm chapter 36, verse 5. Thy mercy, O Lord, is in the heavens, and thy faithfulness reacheth unto the clouds. So it means his heavens, his mercy is way above our understanding. It's high. He has a whole lot. Verse 6. Thy righteousness is like the great judgments. Thy judgments are a great deep, O Lord. Thou preservest man and beast. Again, when he says the righteous and like the great mountains, it's like his laws are above everything. You got great mountain, it sits up on top of the world. You know what I'm saying? It's above anything we can understand. And then he says his judgments are great deep. His meaning, his fairness. You know what I'm saying? His fairness runs deeper than we can understand. It's way more than we can get, more than we can grasp. So when we try to say God's not fair or God doesn't understand what's right and wrong, we are out of our minds. It's deeper than we can get. And then he says, thou preservest man and beast. Again, he keeps us still around. Hey, and I see you, brother Decarius. Grace and peace be with you. Happy prep day. Happy prep day. Psalm 36 and 7. How excellent is thy loving kindness, O God. Therefore, the children of men put their trust under the shadow of thy wings. And then he says, hey, your excellence, your greatness is your loving kindness, meaning, again, your true desire to want the best for us. You actually do want that. It's that real charity. God understands what charity is. He's a creator. That's why he wants us to have charity, because he has that for us. His loving kindness is where we put our trust under him. Why? Because he has our best interest at heart. Verse 8. They shall be abundantly satisfied with the fatness of thy house, and thou shalt make them drink of the river of thy pleasures. And again, these people that are under his wing, that are under the shadow of his wings, those people that trust in him, that get the mercy from God because they trust in God, the people that obey him. Those people that he's preserving, that he's protecting, he says he's going to fill. He says he's going to have the fatness of your house, meaning your house is going to be, large. It's going to be abundant with all the things you want. It's like he says, drink the river of thy pleasures. I'm going to give you the things that you desire. The things you need and things you desire are all going to be covered. But do you trust that he wants that for you? Do you trust that he's going to get that for you if you follow? Verse 9. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light shall we see light. In thy light shall we see. See, I want to make sure. I thought I read it wrong. I was like, hold on. In thy light shall we see light. And then like, oh, wait, it makes sense. You know what it says? In your light shall we see light, meaning in his commandments shall we see the light, meaning we'll see Christ. We'll see Christ in his laws. We'll see goodness in his laws. We'll see, again, righteousness, which is meaning the perfect way. We'll gain understanding. As he says, in thy light shall we see light. If we walk in his commandments, we will gain an understanding of them. Matter of fact, watch this. Let's go to Ecclesiasticus or Sirach and Apocrypha, chapter 21, verse 10. Sirach, chapter 21, verse 10. No, verse 11. I'm sorry. Ecclesiasticus, chapter 21, verse 11. He that keepeth the law of the Lord, meaning he that is in the light, he that is in the laws of God, he that keepeth the law of the Lord, getteth the understanding thereof. And the perfection of the fear of the Lord is wisdom. So you have the fear of the Lord, meaning you truly want to do it. You mean it, it's sincere, you sincerely are afraid of God, then wisdom is within that. Because if you sincerely fear him, you sincerely want to please him, you are going to listen to him. You're going to follow him. And when you follow him, he's going to give you wisdom. So let's read that again. Psalm chapter 36, verse 9. For with thee is the fountain of life. See, the fountain of life is what? The laws, the commandments, his word, his perfection, his testimony. Verse 9. For with thee is the fountain of life. In thy light, in your commandments, in your word, shall we see light. See, you're going to see light, meaning you're going to gain an understanding of it. You're going to know what he wants after you do what he wants. And guess what? It does not matter if you understand it at the time. Just do what he says. If you do what he says, then you'll see the light. If you don't do it and not just do it, don't just go through the motions. Because you just go through the motions, you'll go through the motions you can go through it for 5 years, 10 years, and you still won't ever get it. You know what I'm saying? You'll never understand it. Why? Because you truly don't want to serve him. You truly don't think he has the fountain of life. If you believe that, guess what's going to happen over time? You're going to gain the understanding. It happens that way. If you just go through the motions, you'll just do it for a little bit of time, and then you'll stop. And you know how, and you might not stop. It ain't just that you'll stop. You'll do something else that's just don't make no sense. It has no correlation to your walk with the Most High. Let me give an example of what I'm talking about. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 25. I'm going to show an example of going through the motions of just doing, oh, okay, God, I did what you said. I kept the commandments, just like the rich man. The rich man said, oh, I keep the laws. And then he says, if you'll be perfect, do this. See, he wasn't perfect. He wasn't sincere. He just went through them. He just did it just because, oh, it's the thing to do. That's what everybody does. All right, I'll do it too. Nah, that wasn't real. God don't deal. If you ain't real, he don't mess with you. I'm sorry. Hey, he don't mess with you. I heard Jazar in the background. Language, daddy. All right. So anyways, 2 Chronicles chapter 25, verse 1. Amaziah was 25 years old when he began to reign. All right. So we talking about Amaziah. Let's jump down to verse 2. King Amaziah, 2 Chronicles 25 and 2. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. So it says he did what was right. So according to what God desired, what God expected, God's instructions, God's orders, he done them. Let me read on. But not with a perfect heart. You see, it says not with a perfect heart, meaning he wasn't sincere. He just done it. He wasn't really there. He didn't have charity. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the commandment is charity of a pure heart. It's really there. If it ain't pure, it's defiled. It's defiled. It's because you really ain't got the mindset to follow the Most High. I pray y'all are getting what I'm saying. Understand what I'm putting down, because I need you to grow, need you to gain this. The more you gain this, the more you'll desire to walk this. Well, no, actually, it doesn't matter if you understand. You should still want to do it, which is what I'm going into. Now, we see that Amaziah didn't have a perfect heart. I'm going to jump down to 2 Chronicles, chapter 25, verse 19. All right. Matter of fact, let me go back. I want to get the other one. Second Chronicles chapter 25, verse 11. So the Edomites came out to fight against our people. So the Israelites and the Edomites was fighting. Kind of like today. But anyways, verse 11. And Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people and went to the valley of Salt and smote of the children of Seir 10,000. So he said, we destroyed 10,000 of them. We won the battle. All right, I'm going to jump down to verse 13. But the soldiers of the army which Amaziah sent back, that they should not go with him to battle, fell upon the cities of Judah from Samaria even to Bethhoron, and smote 3,000 of them, and took much spoil. So got a whole bunch of spoil, like being a bunch of, equipment, weapons, gold, whatever it was there. Maybe some food people have. Verse 14. Now it came to pass after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them and burned incense to them. You see, just understand. Now, that sounds crazy to us, like, hey, God delivered us in battle. But guess what happened? After God delivered us in battle against the Edomites, who had their own gods, who the gods of the Edomites actually was watching them get slaughtered, which those gods ain't real. Them statues were just sitting there like this. Just sitting there watching the Edomites get slaughtered. And then after the slaughter, if you read verse 12, you'll see what I skipped it. But a bunch of the Edomites after the slaughter got tossed off the hill and, tossed off this big old top of a rock. And it says they got broken in pieces. So it's just even more. But after all of that, those gods couldn't save them from us. And he went to worship those gods. You know why he did that? Because he didn't have a pure heart. He wasn't truly with God. And soon as the first chance came, guess what he did? Anybody seen my last class we just did on adultery? He cheated on God and laid with the gods of the Edomites. He went out there, was getting all his provision, all his protection, all his guidance from the Most High. And then he turned around with his impure heart, because he was faking it for the longest. He found a better man and went and laid down with him. You see, that's exactly what he done. Why? Because he didn't have a pure heart. He was faking it the whole time. So, and there's more on that, but you see, Amaziah didn't have that pure heart. So let's go back down. Let's go to Psalm chapter 36, verse 9 again. For with thee is the fountain of life, and in thy light shall we see light. So we'll see the truth. We'll see the understanding. We'll gain the wisdom if we go within the light, within the laws, understanding of the Most High God. Verse 10, oh, continue thy loving kindness unto them that know thee, and thy righteousness to the upright in heart. So again, he said, hey, God, keep being nice. Keep, do things to help sustain them. You know what I'm saying? God, those people that truly love you, can you help them go on? You know what I'm saying? Give them more, not incentive, but just more encouragement, because from time to time, those serving the Lord do need encouragement, because those serving the Lord face many persecutions, and it gets rough when you really try to serve the Lord, because you're in the minority. So he's like, hey, these people that really do love him, he says, hey, Lord, you know what I'm saying? And those people, show love and kindness to those people that know you, that actually follow you, that have a relationship with you. Those people that are friends with you, they kind of kick away from time to time. God, bring them what they need. Verse 11, let not the foot of the pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. And he says, so the people that are not humble, the ones that don't have the actual humility to bow down to you, to subject themselves to you and do what you say, don't let those people when he says overtake me, don't let them people win over me. Don't let them gloat over me, stand over me. Don't let them proudly stand and say, yeah, my God's better than your God. It'd be like if we went out to battle with the Ishmaelites and the Ishmaelites beat us, and we'd be like, God, don't let them come up against you and say that their fake gods are better than you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. We say that. See, God's a black man. Let me explain this. And I'm just gonna say this real quick. Here we know God's a black man, because if somebody as black men, and somebody like, yeah, man, don't let them come up here and show you up, God. That's pretty much what we like. God, like, come on, you go save us from them. You the greatest. We first pump God up, like, yeah, you the man. You know what I'm saying? Nobody better than you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna let this dude, this lesser, it's clown simp Negro, man, you gonna come up in here and outdo you? You gonna let him do that? And God, the black man is like, Oh, hell no. Nah, man. Matter of fact, bring him to me. I'm gonna smash him. A matter of fact, I'm gonna smash him in a glorious manner. Matter of fact, give me 7 soldiers. Oh, but God, they got like 200,000. That's cool. I'm gonna show that I'm the best God on the planet. See, God does things like that. He's gonna declare his greatness over the earth. That's why you think we have like a lot of black men. We got that I'll say braggadocious, or we cocky, we confident. We like, yeah, man, why we act like that? Because we get it from our daddy. That's how he is. He like, oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm not gonna let them basically say that I'm not the greatest God on the planet. Nah, all right, cool. I got you. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does. Of course, he gonna keep his promise for us because he loves us, and he's also like, no, I'm going to let everybody know. I'm gonna declare in the whole earth how powerful I am, how great I am. And when they see how great, how wise, strong, and loving I am, then they're all gonna fall down to me. Everybody gonna fall down to me. My people, the people I really want. And the people I really want, I'm gonna give them power to, you know what I'm saying, express my power. Psalm 37:11. Let not the foot of the pride come against me, and let not the hand of the wicked remove me. So again, Lord, don't let those people that don't stack up to you, you know what I'm saying, prove you to be less than. Nah. You want the whole world to know your greatness. So, even the heathen, we know you are God, but you want everybody to know your greatness. Verse 12. There are the workers of iniquity fallen. They are cast down and shall not be able to rise. And it says right there, all the sinners, all the people that reject you, all the people that hate you. Yeah, look, there they are. They down. They're nothing though. They're nothing. And all of us that actually love you are going to rise up. But we know the ones that's the sinners, they'll never rise up again. They'll fall down, they'll get taken out, and they'll never be great again. So pray everybody is able to gain some understanding. This concludes Psalm chapter 36. Said 37 is gonna be a longer chapter, but yeah, there's a possibility I may see what time's looking at this afternoon or tonight. I may try to run into some questions. So I haven't done a question. I need to do a questions class. Questions, bring the smoke, whatever it is. When I say the smoke, that's my TikTokers that always want to come with dumbass questions. But yeah, may have one where just go into some questions. So make sure I do it tonight. I've been either tonight or early on the Sabbath. I'm gonna start doing something like that. I got to. Yeah, so that's pretty much all we got for now. I pray everybody is, like I said, doing all right. Continue to study, continue to read, and write down stuff. Write down stuff for your questions. So let's continue your thing. Share, comment, and like I said, get this word out. Get these short videos out here so our people with short attention span can learn this, and then they can start getting a long attention span by watching the whole classes and start to grow and serve the Most High. That's what we got to do. All right. And if you ain't trying to help get people in here, then what are you doing? Like Cat Williams said, what are you doing with your life? So anyways, y'all have a good one. Love y'all, Israel. Grace and peace be unto the 12. Shalom.